What's good? This is Marcus the Fingaz, D-A-F-I-N-G-A-Z, back with the Sampleist and another video review. In this video, we're going to talk all about drum motion from Sample Logic. Before we get into that, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Sampleist for more great videos like the one you are about to watch here. And although this library was provided by the great team over at Sample Logic, that has not affected our decision, and they have not had a chance to review this video or provide any input. So what is Drum Fury Motion? It is being called the world's most advanced drum sequencer. It is over 3 years in the making. It includes thunderous, cinematic, apocalyptic, worldly, vocal, expressive, organic, electronic, and symphonic percussion and drum sounds. It is also being called the future of rhythmic design. It is a sound design plugin with a focus on percussion. Obviously, it does require the full version of Contact. It is inspired by Drum Fury 1 and 2. If you're familiar with the Sample Logic interface, you will be right at home with the Drum Motion interface. It does not include any pre-made loops. This is all made from one-shot samples. You get over 1,800 presets, 6.5 gigabytes of the sample library, including multi-sampled instruments, over 21,000 samples, and at the time of this recording, you can get it for the low, incredible great price of $199.99. That is $199.99 instead of the normal $299.99. And for a limited time, if you are a previous Sample Logic customer, you get an extra $50 off, and you can get it for $149.99. So what is Drum Fury Motion? Each sound starts off as a one-shot core sample. Sounds run through separate sequencers and animators. You have individual mixing controls. You have overall master controls. I'm just going to play what it sounds like right out the box. I just opened this plugin. So you have different presets here that you can load up in the plugin. You have your core preset, so I can go through the different presets. You also have source sounds that you can toggle between, and then you also have the animator presets, and then you have the multi-core preset browser. So you have 4 different layers of presets. You have 3 for each individual layer, and then you also have the overall. You can save and reset presets using the options here. Again, you can toggle between them up here, and this plugin only has 3 notes. If you look at the bottom here, C3, D3, and E3. If I hit the C3 note, let's look. The C3 is playing both at the same time. If I hit the D3 note, that is playing the layer 1 up here, and the E note is playing layer 2. Again, you can browse here and you can choose favorites. So what I like to do occasionally is go through a bunch. This is a lot of presets, but go through all the presets and play them one by one and click your favorites. And as you choose your favorites, you can click here to filter it by your favorites that you've chosen. Let's choose another one here. And just right away, you start getting all kinds of great effects and sounds and things. You can browse by the instruments and genre tags, including 1 or more. The multi-core presets have filter options to only load certain parameters of the preset. So if we go here, we can say, I just want to load the step animator or the source or the effects or all 3 of those. So you can filter between that within the search itself. Again, if you're familiar with the Sample Logic UI, you'll be right at home with this one. So what you can do is you can load a different core preset. So let's say I want to go here and choose that core preset. And you can get really creative there. You can change the source sound if needed, but keep the same effect. So let's say I want to just change the source sound of this to, let's go to, we have all kinds of typos, Tom's Race, Tom Superhero. That's really violent. I think you can hear that. Let's go to something a little not as violent. Let's go Jimbo. Yep. And then we can also change the step animator. So let's say we want the steps to be drum roll. You can hear that going on. We have some effects I want to turn off. There's a delay, there's a reverb and delay going on. I want to turn that off for now until we get to that part. Let's go to a quieter preset here. We're going to use Sprinkler. So you have all those different presets there. With the steps, you can go anywhere from 1 all the way up to 128 steps to build out your sequences for those options. You have the option here to turn on or off the step sequencer. So if I turn it off, You also can change the velocities. You can set it to be fixed to a certain velocity or have gates and different options there. You have random velocity, which will change for humanizations. You also have key velocity in, or you can ignore the velocity when you set it to out. So you can adjust the length of the sequence. Right now I have it soloed here by clicking the solo button. If we go here, we get some more options where you can quantize the sequence. You have some more options for other sequences down here. So you can have the different stutter speeds. You can have a different pan, the duration. You have all those options. I can also adjust the speed of the sequence and the direction, forward, backward, or forward and backwards, or to loop. And then you can reset the pan options here for different panning. So many options. So you have those side controls for those options. You can use step animator presets, or you can turn off animations to only have like a one shot. So you have so many options. You can have the one shots, you can have the loops playing. Then you also have dynamic effects engine. So let's go to another preset. We're going to jump over to Charity or Chain Gamer. Let's see how this sounds out the box. Let's jump to effects for this core. So you have all these effects. You have 6 different effects you can add to one core, but you can choose between all those options there. You have those 6 effects engines. You have over 20 different effects with presets. You could have presets for the overall effects chain up here, or you could have different presets for the individual effects. So for example, I have a compressor, but I can go to preset number 6 for the compressor, or I can have the whole, let's go to, actually I like DJ Sweeper. Let's go to DJ Sweeper. And you hear some of those effects going on. You can change the steps. You can change the speed of the effects. You can tweak the effects parameters by clicking the graph here. So you have so many options there with effects to choose from. And again, you have the same options for Core 2. So if I were to go down to Core 2 and edit that thing, I will have some different effects options that I could choose between. So yeah. Now let's jump over to the mix page. So on the mix page, I can control the overall level of each core. I can control the panning, the envelope, attack release, the filter, high cut, resonance, or velocity to high cut. I can have an EQ with the preset. I can also have the amount of energy, which is sort of like saturation per preset, so you can adjust how that is affecting the sound. So you can hear some of that effect there. You also have master effects. Here you can also choose between 6 overall effects that will affect both cores at the same time. You also can choose different effects chains up here. So if we go to basic dirt, you hear that stuff going on. You also have reverb controls where you can adjust the size, color, damp, the dry wetness, the stereo, and pre-delay to affect both of those cores. So a lot of things going on in the plugin. Last but not least, you know I really like the randomization options. If I choose these 3 dots here, we can adjust the random preferences. So we can say I want to randomize everything, including the master effects, both cores, the preset source step animator effects change for both cores, and all these step animator parameters here. And I also want to affect the random play options, and you can get some really unique sounds, but be careful because it might adjust the volume on some. It might affect your headphones or your speaker playback system. So let's see what we get by just choosing every random parameter. Let's unsolo this. Again, everything's randomized. You can get some glitchy stuff. I'm going to do 2 more. And if you want to see the steps here, you can click this little graph in the icon to see the actual steps there. And you can disable or enable different steps. So I can turn this off. I can turn that off so it won't play that. Let's do random again. And then 1 more. Then you also have the latch option over here. So when you hit the note, it'll just keep looping the sequence and you don't have to hold down your key. So if I hit latch, I'm going to hit the C3 note 1 time. And you see it looping there, as opposed to I'm going to hit it now with latch off, the C3 note. And as soon as I let go of the note, it stops playing. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to play through just a couple of presets. I'm going to mute the microphone, and here we go. One thing I didn't mention is with the random option here, if you go down to random play, each time the thing cycles, it will randomly play different things on these two parameters down here. So let's do, let's go to let's go to Wakanda. I like when they have those Wakanda settings. We'll go to Wakanda darts and let's see what happens when we let it loop. So it's randomizing the mix parameters and the effects patterns, if you could hear that happening there. So very, very powerful plugin. What we're going to do now is I'm going to jump over to a demo that I created featuring Drum Theory Motion from Sampleist. Let's go. So that is a demo I created featuring Drum Theory Motion from Sampleist. Of course, I'm in trailer music mode, so this is a project that I'm working on for a trailer library. So I was like, let me put these drums to use for that. And that is the song I came up with. Let's start with, we're only going to feature the drum sounds in this video. I won't go over all the other sounds I use. So I'm going to start with, I only use 3 tracks here. At the beginning, just to add some percussion layers, just started, as you can see in the MIDI here, starts kind of low key, one note here and there, and then a little bit build, and then towards the end, we build and layer with a couple tracks. But let's start with the main sort of percussion that I'm using here throughout the track. This is just the hunting bounty preset, just hitting the 1 shot at the beginning, and this again here a couple measures later, and then second half of that intro part sort of plays a little bit more. Still the 1 shot, not playing the loop yet. Triplet ending there, and then this sort of middle section here where it's just the bell playing, kind of a low-key section. I have the loop playing on this one. And for that, I do have velocity ends, so the sound, the level of the loop will be determined by how hard I play the key, the velocity I play the key. So that is that, and then towards the end, we have more things coming in. Then we keep building. Typical triplet ending, and then again a tag at the end. just to cap it off. And then this middle track here, this only comes in a little bit like at the beginning of the track, the second half of the beginning. This is a loop. This is the It Won't Stop preset, and I'm just doing a loop there, and that sounds like this. So just the same loop over and over, but I really like the distorted two pines, but it sounds like distorted like 808 there, and then the sort of clicky noises at the top there. So I like what that was doing at that section of the song. And then towards the end, when we have the percussion sort of getting heavier and more things happening, I have this thing layered, another loop from Drum Fury, and this one is the Safari AI. So yeah, that's the sound of that. I really like the clicky noises. I like the bass that hits every, was it 4 bars or was it 2 bars there? So I really like what that's doing. So let me play I'll play this, just the drum part here from this part. And I'll play it in context with some of the other percussion sounds I have going on, including some of the effects, so that you can hear it in context of that. So yeah, so that could be a whole cue in itself, just the percussion sounds there. So shout out to Sample Logic for creating this. If you listen closely, you also would have heard another product from Sample Logic that we tested before, Key Fury. That's in there playing the main melody line. I'll play a little bit of that. So that's playing throughout the track. As you can see, that's holding the main melody there. So the bell that you hear is layered with glockenspiel there. But if you hear that throughout the track, be sure to find the video here on the Sampleist where we reviewed Key Fury also. Shout out to Sample Logic for Drum Fury. So we got Drum Fury, Key Fury. I think there is some other Furies. Who knows what's going to be next? Could be String Fury. I don't know. If there's a request out there, let them know. Maybe they will be working on that for us music creators. So overall thoughts, I really like the plugin. There's really not much that I would suggest changing or adding. You can use a one-shot. You have a lot of built-in sequencing. You can use the presets. Sometimes I just like to go in, find a preset, and tweak from there. You also have a bunch of randomized features. You know I like randomized functions. So there's a lot built into this plugin. Even though it's all on one page, you have so many parameters and controls that you can dive in and figure out in there. It's a fun plugin. I'm definitely going to be using it, like, for example, on tracks like this that you just heard, in my trailer music stuff, and also in some other productions I'm working on. It will find a home in that trailer music. It will also find a home if you're doing pop, hip hop, R&B. I always say those genres because that's where a lot of this stuff can work in. Again, shout out to Sample Logic for providing Drum Fury Motion for us to review for you. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this page, the Sampleist, on YouTube for more great videos like this, and we will see you in the next video. All right, peace.